Hello everyone, Alex here from WarrenOffKeys.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use moderation logs to be able to track what all of your moderators and staff members are doing, such as the commands they are running and what they're saying. I am going to make a new file here. This will be called mod-logs.js, and then this is simply going to export a function that takes in one parameter, which is a client. And then I can save this inside of my main file, which is index.js. I'm going to go ahead and import this. So constant mod logs equals require mod logs, and then I'm going to call this passing in our client. So now it'll actually run the function. I can go ahead and close this. All of our logic will be inside of here. Now if we go into Discord, I'm going to make a new channel here. This will be called mod-logs, and this will be a private channel that only I can see. I can then click on create channel. So only I can see this channel here. And if I go into my roles, so under my Discord, I can go to server settings, and I can go to roles. We see I have a moderator role here. And so this role, as well as any other role that you might want to actually listen for, are going to be the ones that are logged and then sent to this mod logs right here. Now, at the current moment, all Discord commands and messages are essentially just the same thing. A Discord command is just a message that starts with a certain prefix, and so that makes our lives easier in this exact case, where we can simply just check the actual messages that the moderator sends. Within this, I'm going to first create an array above all this called roles, and this is just going to be the names. So mine is called moderator, and then let's say that you had like a helper or something like that, you can add that as well, but I'm just going to keep mine for exactly what I have here. Now within our actual function, we want to say client.onMessage. This is going to give us a message callback, and to ensure that we actually have the correct stuff going on here, we can destructure the content, which is the actual text of the message, from the message itself. And so now I can console log the content, and we can see if this actually works. I can run node index.js. We see that the bot has started with no actual errors, and within, if I say testing, we now see testing in the console. So that means that this is working so far. Now we can gain access to the actual member itself, who is the person who sent the message. Next, we have to see if this user actually has one of the roles within our array. So we can say const has role equals member.roles.cache.find. This is going to give us a callback that will essentially loop through all of the roles. And so this callback will be ran for every single role that the user has. And here we can say return roles, which is our array, dot includes role dot name. And so now I can say console log has role equals, and then I can concatenate has role onto that. If I save this and I restart the bot here, now if I go in, we see that I do have the moderator role. If I say test, and it gives us an actual ID. So if I were to get rid of my moderator role and I were to say test, it gives us undefined. Now has role can be used in an if statement. So if has role, because if it doesn't have it, that means it's undefined, and that is a falsy value. But if it does have it, it has this string here, which is a truthy value. And so now we're going to want to actually send whatever the content is inside of the mod logs channel right here. Now I'm going to just be copying the ID for this channel by right clicking and clicking on copy ID. And if you don't see this, you need to have developer mode enabled on your Discord account. However, this is only going to limit this bot's functionality to this one particular server right here. If you do want this to be used in multiple servers, I have a video on that, which will be linked in the video description. That will essentially show you how to use MongoDB to store this information for each different feature for each different individual server and what channel IDs they have automatically. And if you need help with that, then leave a comment down below or ask in the Warren Off Keys Discord. But assuming that we're moving forward, I could then create a channel ID. This will be right here. Actually, I can move this above our actual listener here, and then we're going to gain access to the channel. So const channel. This is going to be guild, which we don't have access to. So we actually have to destructure that from our message. So guild.channels.cache get, and then we're going to pass in our channel ID. Now here I can console log channel.name, and let's ensure that this works. So if I save this and I restart the bot, I can go back into Discord, and our channel is called mod logs. If I say test, nothing actually happened because I have to give myself the moderator role again. Then if I say test, we see mod logs right there. Now what I can say is channel.send, And then here we're going to have a template literal. We can actually at the user. This is assuming that the moderators don't have access to this. Mod logs might be an admin only thing or an owner only thing. And so we can at them so you can easily click on them. However, we don't want them to actually see it. And so it's up to you to set the correct permissions. So to at someone, you have to use a less than sign, an at symbol, their ID, and then a greater than sign. So to get their ID, we can use member.id. And afterwards, we can say send this. And then a couple new lines, we can have quotes, and then we can insert in the actual content. Now going into my tutorial, I can say test, and we see mod logs. It says Alexander Flores said this test. So if I were to try like mute some person like that, then going back in, we can now see that this is an actual command. So the last thing we want to check is that this bot is sending a message. Now this bot currently does not have the moderator role, but if it did, it would continuously say that the bot said this, and then that would trigger it, which would then continue to say the bot said this, etc. That's going to be a whole mess. It's going to be an infinite loop. We don't want that. So the first thing we want to do to fix that is right up here. We have this member right here. And to see if a user is a bot, we can say if member.user.bot. Then I can add a console log. And I can say ignoring bots, and then I can return. So if I save this and I reset the bot here, going back into Discord, I can say testing, and we see ignoring bot right there. That's because this person sent a message, the bot did, and this is before we actually check the roles. However, if it did have the moderator role before this if statement, then it would infinitely send that message. Thanks for watching this Discord.js tutorial. If you want to learn more about Discord.js, consider clicking on the playlist you see on your screen now. If you need help, feel free to leave a comment or ask in the Worn Off Keys Discord, which can be found in the video description.